Good day, viewers, and welcome to our weekly program that features politicians, lawmakers, and NGOs. Today in our studio, we have a young poet who is no other than Safia Joof. She has dedicated her life through empowering women and fighting for justice. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Can you please introduce yourself to our wonderful viewers?
Okay, thank you so much for that. Um, as she rightly said, my name is Saffiatou. I'm a student of IOU, that is, I'm majoring in computer science. I'm a poet, a businesswoman, again, an author. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Okay, Sophia.
Especially those within my vicinity, that is the constituency that I'm in. I've met maybe one or two, some few of them, not same, but few of them I've met and spoke with them, and I see that they have challenges. I said, okay, so who is there in Nasa Assembly that can contribute at least something regarding them for government to pay attention? Yeah. So this is something key in my agendas. I also want to see how best I can influence in this aspect of a bill that will be higher in the side of government scholarships to young people. Okay, see how best I can lobby that influence for them to have at least Serikunda West students being prioritized. We have a lot of families that today have very brilliant students, but then they don't have the privilege of getting the scholarships, the requirements for it. So what can we do to help such vulnerable people? Yeah. So bringing in laws, strong laws, strong projects that we can discuss on and push government, give them that opportunity. The other part is that I want to talk about, or let's say because is I've mentioned educational aspects, the healthcare within our vicinity, within our constituency. How can we influence it for it to be better? How can we advocate for such facilities not to be built alone and without the equipment or required drugs, but to push the agenda regarding having the medical care and for people to get what they want if they get into those hospitals. So that is another aspect of, I can say, a few of the issues that I want to influence when I get to the 1 minute, when I get to the parliament. The other aspect of it is 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, the other aspect is youth empowerment and jobs. We have seen within Serikunda West constituency some of the youths who don't have proper jobs. So what can we do to influence that aspect too is very, very paramount. Women and community support. When women have strong representations in the parliament, they'll be able to gain from what government is going to give to them. So we need that strong voice that will be out there to speak on behalf of all women to get certain basic opportunities in terms of skills training, businesses, startup groups, stuff like that. So this is something I have interest in. And then environment, which is key. I've mentioned it earlier. I did a protest regarding the back autism sign. Could fully remember how tough that was. But at the end of the day, we have what we want, and that is for the public to understand how that stench is kind of creating a big problem to that vicinity of Backward. So we have seen the mayor over 8 years. He's been mounting that place, and that representation that people need to do. Pay attention to that place and, push government at least a little bit to close down that place. It's not for human inhabitants regarding that area. We often pass through that place and we see the problems that are, invested in there. So we are going to participate mainly on the things or the key issues that are affecting our society, our community as a whole, and see how to build that connectivity with them. Whereas at the end of the day, when we get to the National Assembly, we were able to represent them properly.
For that 30% women representation is still a challenge. If at all you happen to be elected, what strategies will you put in place to push that agenda?
Okay. As I said, we must first educate our own. Civic education is one aspect of it. Our women must understand their rights. They must understand the importance of participating in terms of political environment that we have. The fear, of saying, I will not participate into politics with all the degrees that you have because of the return backlash and fight and the kind of issues that arises from it makes them fear. We have to remove that part of it. That's the first agenda that I believe I need to do. And if I get the capacity is to go all out, to influence, to train, to educate, have seminars, organize conferences for us women that are very much vocal, educated, and they understand what is going on. To give them that that fit and the confidence to come and participate into our political atmosphere. Despite it's scary, but it is us who can stop it. It is us who can come forward to lead that. Nobody can do it for us. We don't expect people from outside to come and change the things that we saw is lacking behind. If that 30% is there and women are not vying for it, it has no use. We have to build that confidence and come forward and change the dynamics.
So are you ready to face the challenges ahead?
Of course, I'm ready for that. Over 1 year, we've been preparing for this. Yes, I can tell you for it. I know. I've seen the Gambia political atmosphere over the years, over 5 years. I've been into controversial topics. I've talked about here the feminism, that of the keeping intact. Again, when I heard again, I wrote regarding certain issues that really spark conversations around in the Gambia social media. So part of me understanding the digital space and how to go about it, I will definitely use my knowledge and experience, penetrate the system. But then again, to advocate for our women, and specifically on the things that I believe is a weakness, that we need to get rid of. I'm ready. I don't see anything that I'm scared of. Alhamdulillah. That is a confidence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really has put into my heart. We're all human beings. And once we are doing the right thing, we don't have to fear. It is God that is going to be with you wherever you are. So faith first before anything else. And if that faith is really strong, why not? Bring anybody for me. I'm ready for that. In terms of debate, in terms of talking about my community problems, in terms of what I need to do when I get into inshallah.
All right, this should be our last section. What message do you have for the electorate and also the government and the youth? as we approach the election?
I'm urging the youths of the Gambia to pay attention to this election. It will determine our history. History will really remember us. Tomorrow, when you have children, they'll be like, Daddy or Mom, what were you guys doing all these years? What happened? Why didn't you decide this? So it's a collective responsibility, I believe, as young leaders, emerging young leaders that are coming up. We should pay attention to details. We should pay attention to what government is doing. And yeah, if it's not in the right way, we have to go all out to protest against it. I've organized recently, I'm about to, organize recently a protest regarding the demise of so many young women. And we've seen the murder spirit within our environment. So what are we doing to speak for those voiceless people, vulnerable people? We've seen the likes of Nafi Sane, the likes of Fatoumata Kalpo, the likes of Mari Mendy, an attempted rape case. We see the likes of a woman that was murdered in Haru. Very sad, in a very, I can tell you, very, very disheartening way. It's not telling well. Our security apparatus, what is happening? What is happening to the investigation unit of this country? Why are court cases delayed? Why are victims not given the priority? Because, you wouldn't tell me that the president didn't know about all these things that are happening. So what is government doing to put pressure on the police investigative unit to make sure that, you control the system? When you are given a responsibility, you have to act. People need to see that. We have to know that, okay, security is paramount. A country without security, we are bound to fail. Then that means we cannot work out here with our gadgets or our materials without it taken away from us. So what are we going to do to build confidence, to build security, to build that safety for our women? And that's why I told my team, inshallah, we're going to see how best we're going to come with something really tangible. It's going to be a collective thing. And I do not want to politicize it. I want us to do it in such a way that will reflect our message, how we feel about the whole entire system. So the youths of the Gambia, I'm saying, do not have fear in what you're doing. Hence, you know that this is the right thing. And it's not violating the principles of your religion. But then my mother will say, in anything we are to do, we have to do it with discipline. Because through that, you will have people to listen. The authorities will listen. The government will act based on what you are demanding them to do. So that is my saying. And my last words is, in order for a young, youthful person to prosper in whatever you are doing, you have to build that ears of listening, good advisors, the confidence and that resistance, belief, to know that, okay, if I'm onto something, you have to build that taste of faith, but it's going to be solved. If I have to talk about an issue, I have to make sure that that issue, somebody is out there to listen to me with full-time discipline. But then you send a message whereas everybody is going to benefit from it. Everybody will know the angle of what you are trying to talk about or put across. I'm saying if my constituency vote for me, I'm ready to use my activism experience, skills of communication, get to that parliament and deliver as expected. because I understand the mandate of the people. I understand the problems of the people because I live with it. I know it. I'm interacting with the people every day. So it's an easy job for me. And then again, as a youthful person, we have more energy than the older age. We know that. And our curiosity and that creativity with behavior and everything. It's going to add up. It's going to be a big heavy weight for Sarikunda constituency to have a woman that will go into that parliament, represent them in a very conscious voice, inshallah.
Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank
and
you.
We hope to see you
Appreciate it.
again.
Thank you.
Thank you.